So we just got done with our pie chart, and now we're going to work on a column chart at the bottom of page 185. We're going to insert a column chart into our summary report. Just like we did with the pie chart, the allocation of asset, we're going to go to a different page, a different worksheet to get the data for this. So it says go to the sectors worksheet, which is down here at the bottom. Go to sectors, and here's data, New Century Fund. We're going to select range A3 to C15. A3, which is actually text, but it's also going to be used for my labels, to C15. Now, it didn't go to D. Notice that. Okay, we're going to do that later. We're going to insert that later. It's going to be part of an exercise. It wanted me to just go to C. Sometimes I see people do all the 4 columns, and that's not what it wants me to do. We're going to go back up to our insert ribbon, and we're going to, in the chart group, we're going to go to column. We're going to click on a clustered column, which is basically these right here. And it says clustered column chart, the first chart in the 2D column section. Okay, right here, 2D. We're going to click on this, and there is our column chart. Made it pretty quickly. Okay, now we're going to move that to the summary report, just like we did last time. Watch me do it, and then you do it, or do it with me. Go up here to move chart, means we're going to move that to someplace else. Where are we going to move it to? We're going to move it to the summary report like we did last time, and there it is. Okay, so now we're at the top of page 186. Okay, it wants me to relocate it to A23 through E37. So where's A23? Below the pie chart looks like. So let's drag it there first. A23. Oops. And I don't know. Oh, I went over too far. That's why. There we go. To E37. So we're going to make it. Oops, not like that. There we go. E37. Okay. So there's our chart. It's inside there. It's not perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. You get the idea, though. What I don't want to see are these charts that hang out over here. Okay, this is where it's supposed to be, and it looks good there. So now we're going to manipulate this particular chart in order to make it look a little bit better. Okay, we're going to format the chart title and the legend, just like we did with the pie chart. We're just going to make some easy changes. Okay, we're going to click on here. Remember how I said if I'm not clicked inside the chart, I don't have my chart tool button, my chart tool tab, so I got to be the active one here. It wants me to go to the chart tool layout tab and the ribbon. In the legends group, click the legend button right there. Then select none. Watch what happens to my legend. It went away. It was over here. Let me show it to you again. It was right there. That's the legend. Okay, it just means that this is the New Century Fund title. Okay, well, the title's here too. We don't need that there. So we're going to go to legend and select none. So now it's gone. Notice how it made my chart look larger because it gave me more room. And Excel said, well, if you're going to give me that room, then I'm going to use that room. That's a good thing. Okay. Step 3 says click the chart title to select it. Then we're going to go to the Home tab. We're going to change the size of the font to 8 to 12, just like it was on the pie chart. Makes it a little bit smaller. Okay. And then we're going to type in sector percentages. SECTOR PER percentages. Did I spell that right? Looks like it. Okay. There you go. So now we've got it somewhat formatted. We're going to start beginning some more stuff here too. We're going to change the scale of the vertical axis. This is the vertical axis right here. Okay, 16%, and we've got 2 decimal places. When we go up from 2, 4, 6, 8 to 16. Excel smart enough to realize that the largest one is just over 14% here. And so instead of having 14 here and have it go over, it picks the next nicer one, and it just is smart. It says, okay, this looks good to me, but we're going to manipulate it to make it look a little bit different. Okay, but we want to change those. This takes up a lot of room over here. Okay, so in the axis group, so here we are. We're still in here in the layout tab, the axis group right here. It wants me to pick the axis button. This is the grid line button. Here's our axis button. I get two options: primary horizontal axis, which is left to right, or the vertical axis, and it wants me to pick the vertical axis. When I select that, I get more options over to the left, you see, and it says click more primary vertical axis options. That's the very bottom one there. These are the 6 major ones we can have. No axis, no labels, or we're going to pick some more options here. There's my dialog box. Every time you do a more button, you're going to get a dialog box as it wants to know what are you trying to do here. Okay, we're going to go to the we're going to fix these numbers here to suit ourselves. Okay, next to maximum right here, got minimum, maximum, major unit, and minor unit for our axis options. They're all on auto. Again, with auto on, Excel just assumed a couple things and made it look okay. We're going to make it look better. Okay, we're going to click the fixed next to the maximum. We're going to tell it what we want it to be. And we want it to be 0.25, 25%. Okay, so I type in 0.25. Okay, in the major unit, right here, it says that it's automatically going to be 2% increase. And you can see that it's 2% increases here. We're going to change that to a 5% increase. So we're going to fix to 5%. Okay. And so there we go. Now we're going to go to the top of page 186, and the number, we're going to click on the number. We're still working on this. Okay. And if you notice, what happened was when I made those two changes, it went from increments of 2 to increments of 5, from 0 to 25% in increments of 5. Okay. We're going to click on the number, which we did. We're going to take the decimal places away. I don't want those decimal places. We don't need them there. I'm taking up too much room. Okay. And I click close. And now, hopefully, it didn't do it. So let's go back up and do it again. I'll do it again. I go to the axis, primary vertical, more number. I go to number. I take that away. I guess I didn't make it a 0. Now I close, and now they're down to no zeros. Okay. Quickly, we'll go through the next couple sections, and then I'll close this one out. We'll come back. Probably have to finish it up. We're going to modify the font size of the axis titles and labels. Font size of these right here. Okay. Make sure that the vertical axis is still selected. Bam. Okay. Let's see. There we go. On the home tab, now that's what I did. Notice how I can click on the title. I can click on these, but I want these right here to be changed. Okay, so we're going to go up here to the home tab. We're going to click on 8 and make those numbers even smaller, which widens out. Notice that again. When I go over here and I make them larger, notice what happens to my chart. It shows me what it's going to look like at that particular size. Okay, so I get a chance to figure out, well, what looks good? Probably the 8 looks good. Okay. Let's see. Category access. Okay, so we got 8. The values displayed in the vertical axis are smaller, leaving more room for the data series. Okay. Click anywhere in the category axis, right there. Same thing. We're going to make those 8. Notice how they got smaller, and as they get smaller, or the numbers get larger, my chart gets smaller. As the font gets smaller, the chart gets larger. Okay. Again, if I want to change this vertical axis, I just click on there. I can say I have it highlighted and I can change them. If I want to change this horizontal axis, I just click in that area anywhere. Makes it the highlighted one, makes it the active one. Okay. We are going to quickly get through this section. That's going to be it for this chart, this pie chart, or this column chart. So at the bottom of page 189, we're going to format the chart columns. Okay. Again, my chart is active, so I got my chart tool tab. In the layout tab, which we are in now, we're going to click the chart elements arrow. Chart elements arrow. I have to figure out where that is because sometimes even I forget. In the current selection group. Oh, there we go. A reset format selection chart element arrow. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. So what we're going to do is go up here to the in the current selection on the chart tool layout, current selection. This is the current chart element arrow. We're going to scroll down and look for the series New Century. We're going to click on this, and what it does is it shows us all of these are highlighted. All of our columns are highlighted. It means we're going to do something to them. Okay. In the current selection group, click the Format Select button. So here we go, Format Select button. And now I've got a dialog box. It's going to tell me, what do you want to do with this stuff? Well, we've got a lot of room in here, so we're going to clean up that space there. Okay. If you'll notice here, I've got my gap width. And right now it's at 150%. If I make that smaller, watch what happens to these columns, the size of those columns, if I make this smaller down to 50%. Oops, go down to 50. Made them wider. I'm really not at 50, but I'm going to go ahead and type in 50 there just to make sure I got the right number. Okay. Notice how wide they got. That's kind of a good thing. Okay. We're going to click the fill on the left hand side. We're going to change the color scheme of those. Okay, we're going to click the gradient fill option. Watch what happens to these solid colors when I click on gradient fill. Okay, kind of a neat little thing. Again, one of those things you look at that and think, man, that person took a lot of time on there. And that took me two button strokes right here. That's all it took me to do. Okay, so now I'm at the top of page 190. We're going to click the direction button. Let's see, direction button right there, and we can change what direction that gradient fills to. We're going to go linear right, which is right there, fourth one over. Okay, so there we go. That's what we have. We are going to close, click on some other place outside, and that's our chart. Okay, that's our column chart, and you're done with 4.1. We've done a pie chart, and we've done a column chart, and that's pretty simple. Look how smart you look because you got that stuff done.